Welcome back in with King Family to another F1 Clash video. We're here for the free-to-play edition of the Community Championships. All right, so we're gonna be entering into the GP event with our free-to-play account here to try and score some points for Team Ferrari. Before we do so, though, make sure to support a content creator in game. Go to settings, go to community, support a creator, and type in Gaming with King to support this channel. Really appreciate you guys for all your support. All right, so we're going to be entering into the GP events here. As you know, Thursday is the best day to enter for free to play, and we're going to be going into the challengers division where we can score the most points possible for ourselves. All right, so challengers, juniors, and contenders now have GP restrictions. So if you're going to be going into the contenders GP, it's only going to be required to use assets that are available from Series 1 to Series 9. If you're going to be going into the challengers division, it's going to be requiring you to use assets from Series 1 to Series 6. And if you're going into the juniors division, you're only going to be required to use assets from Series 1 to Series 3. All right, so we are not yet strong enough for the contenders division. How do I know? Because we have already tested contenders and we see where we're going to be placing in contenders. And at this point, we're not really going for rewards. We're mainly going for score. So we're going to be going into the challengers division where we can score our best score possible to give the team a little boost. All right, so let's jump on into the challengers division here for our free-to-play account, and let's go. All right, so first up, we're going to be getting our races done and see what we can do. All our parts currently that we have are below the challengers restrictions. All our parts, the drivers are Series 5 or higher, and all our car parts are Series 5, 6 and below. So we're good to go with these parts. So let's go. Here we go for our first race on Hungary. So if we could remember from yesterday's video on the main account where we qualified, Hungary was some form of long into bipolar into long weather. So we're going to be watching the timing on the weather here. If you're free to play and you don't have any boosts, you can then go ahead and collect the free boosts and use those. So we're going to be using some self-control here for both our drivers. If you don't have any boosts, what you're going to do, gotta just do without. All right, so we see it's starting off with bipolar weather at 26 seconds, and then we're gonna go for the fast start method, as that still have some form of impact. Not a lot as it used to, but it still does have some form of impact. So we're gonna give it just a little bit of nudge, and then we're gonna cut down here as we see Leclerc kind of struggling to make up some places here, trying his best to make up some positions, but not possible for him at this point. So we're gonna kind of manage him, use some boosts in the corners, and see if we can get him to overtake and pick up some places, as Verstappen is already out there in P1 controlling that space. Right, so it's up to us now to move our Leclerc into position and bring him up to P1. It's a wet into dry, so it's going to be continuing into wet, and then we want to see when the long stint is going to come in. You have to be very mindful of the weather and watch the weather here, as the weather is currently messed up for this track and this race from our previous encounter on the main account on this track. All right, so we see it's going to be 5 minutes of cloudy. So what we're going to do now is we're going to just let the weather run, let our tires run, our drivers run, and then we're going to switch to those medium tires. So if we could get 4 to 5 laps out of these guys, then come back to those mediums, we could go to finish from there, or come back to those softs, we can go to finish. And we're good for 4, we're good for 5 as we cross the line with 40%, and as it's 3 to 5, so that's 20% per lap. So we're good to go from here. We're just going to let our drivers save up on some power unit and let them do their thing, as we're going to go around for 5 laps and then come back to those softs and go to finish on those softs from there. We have a nice little distance to our drivers, so we should not stock on our pit stop. So we put in our go to pit orders, and we're just going to let our drivers continue to do their thing, continue to drive up the inside of Norris. Goes Leclerc, so we give him the support to take that position. As the weather continues to go down, temperatures, wetness continues to go down, we're going to boost in or Verstappen from here, so he creates just a little bit of distance so we don't stock when we bring in our Leclerc. And we're going to slow down Leclerc going in because we're trying our best not to stock. Now we can boost him to not stock. There we go. Alright, so the rival is back out on mediums. Leclerc, I was hoping he would have gotten the jump on P4, but everybody's out on mediums, so that's good news for Leclerc. All those mediums in front of him, he's on softs, so he should be able to get the overtake done through some corners up the inside. Good try to pass Lando Norris there as we let our Verstappen boost on out. Now we squeeze past Lando Norris, and we have the rival Zhou, and that looks like AI Verstappen to go catch up to. So we'll give some support and kind of cut him back down. We want him to close the gap, so we're going to boost him through the corners, cut him down on the straights, boost him through the corners, cut him down on the straights. At the same time we're doing that to catch up, we still want to kind of have some power unit remained in so we can have enough to boost by them when we do catch up. I think the rival Zhou is now boosting away. There you can see him boosting there. And we're going into our final lap. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to catch them. So it looks like a 1-4 finish is what we're going to be getting here for this one. Though we're on the softer compound, we're not able to close the gap to those drivers. All right. So nothing much we could do about that. Just have to keep going. We'll boost him from there. Still not able to catch up. All right, so that looks like where we're going to be finishing. P1, P4. We'll take it. And that's going to be a nice 45 points for us. All right. All right, so let's go and jump on into the next race and see what we can do in that one. Here we go for our next race on the Spa. 100% chance of rain here, and from what we've learned from yesterday's qualifier on our main account, that overtaking is going to be a little bit of a challenge. So we'll need to get into position as early as possible and try to stay in those positions. So we're going to be going for something with a little bit of race start here. The couple would be nice to go with. Let's go with the couple for both drivers here. That gives us some race start, so both drivers should get a nice start and get to pull away and attempt to take up that P1 spot. And we are going to be just leaving our drivers to boost away here and see if they can squeeze into position. There we go, up the inside. That's exactly what we want them to do. And then we're going to cut them back down right there, as we're going to be going for 3 laps. And we're not going to be losing any position, and we're already in the front, so we don't need to gain any position here. So we're just going to let our drivers do their thing and try to make their way around into the pits. All right, so since they have the clean air and since they're up in front with that race start boost, trying to pull away here, let's give them some support down the hill here to create a little bit of a gap between the AIs. All right, so we're going to be stocking because we're right on each other, and it's going to be a 3-3. There's no other strategy to go with here at the Spa as it's wet. So 3-3 is the only strategy. The only thing I can possibly do is boost Leclerc on lap 3 for the entire lap and let him see how much distance he can create for himself to Verstappen to cut down some of the stock time. That's the only thing I see we could do here. So we're going to kind of cut down both drivers in some sense and kind of keep Leclerc going up. We want at least 80% of servicing, and we're just going to let that little bit of distance create, and then we are going to just basically boost our Leclerc right from the finish line all the way around for this lap. So we'll boost him from there, and then we're going to put in our go to pit orders to go for some brand new wets. And then we're going to kind of manage or Verstappen with conserve from there to kind of let that distance create. So or Verstappen, don't stock too much. You want to see if we can get Leclerc in and out before Verstappen comes in, so we don't lose too much time on stocking. It looks like Leclerc tires is not going to be holding him up, so we'll have to like cut him down as well. So let's cut it back up or Verstappen here as Leclerc is out. That's what we didn't want to happen, but he's out, and we still are going to stock. Even though we tried our best, we did save a little bit of time on stocking here for Verstappen. So we just lost about a second there to stock in. So we should get out in front of P4. Looks like we got the jump on P3 as well. Oh my god, that was a good one. We still got the jump on P3. All right, so P3 got in there right in front of our Verstappen. And we barely stocked, just like a second of stocking there, and we got out in a beautiful P2. So 47 points secured here. I was saying that I was going to save this power unit on Verstappen to use it to attack and get him into position. But yeah, we got it. So we're just going to let them drive from here to finish for a 47 points finish. All right, so 3-3 is the strategy. There's nothing else you could do. It doesn't make any sense to go for a 2-stop and go for 2 laps and then come back and try for the undercut, because you're gonna have to go to pit again, because you're not gonna be getting 4 laps on these wet tires unless you probably use, like, I doubt even if you use a boost with high tire management, you're not gonna get the 4 laps unless your drivers are really high leveled. Then that's probably with some tire management boost where you can then squeeze in that 4th lap. But yeah, that's it. 3-3. Let's go. All right, so we're also gonna boost now or Verstappen to finish, as he has created a nice little gap for himself. I love that. And he has a full power unit, so we're gonna let him use that power unit, and let's see if he could catch up to Leclerc. With all that power unit, we're just going to keep our Leclerc on regular driving and want to see if Verstappen can catch up to Leclerc. It will be interesting to see if he can close that gap within a lap with all the power unit he has boosting away. So he's closing the gap just a little bit, but not at a pace where he's closing it to catch up real fast. He's not going to catch up. As you can see, his power unit is almost out. His tires are almost out as well. And yeah, he didn't catch up at all. But yeah, great race there for us. 47 points. Let's go jump on into the next race and see what we can do in that one. Here we go for our next race. We're at Baku for this one. Let's see what we do here. I think we're going up against the same rival that we just raced. Alright, so we got a 1-2 qualifiers here at Baku. Nice, and we're going to just go with the self-control boost once again. And then we're going to split the strategy so we don't stock both drivers. And currently it's a real player, so it looks like we got the bot a while ago and now we have the real player here. And he's gone for hards and mediums. So he's going for the 1-stop while we're going for the 2-stop. Let's give him a good look. And then we're going to cut down both drivers there and just let them cruise out a bit, save up on their power unit. Let me see if the rival is still boosting. No, he is not. So he's gone for the hards and medium, so he's going to be going long. So we're going to need to push or Leclerc here to create a good amount of distance so he get a free pit stop. So I'm just going to open him up now and let him go, and I'm going to let Verstappen continue to drive at regular pace. We're just going to let or Leclerc open up, burn down his power unit so he creates a good amount of distance to get a clean pit stop in this lap. Alright, because we're going to be doing a 2-stop with him, and we're going to go for mediums with servicing, and then we're going to come back to softs. As for Verstappen, we're going to do 3 laps and then come to the hard tires and go to finish with him. We see Verstappen on softs in front there passing, so we're going to boost now or Leclerc into pit. And we want him to get a nice clean pit stop and try to get out in front of the rival Verstappen or right behind. Alright, so here he goes. He's on his way out. We're going to put this so he doesn't slow on turn 1. And he still got the slow on turn 1, but it's alright. Good little recovery after that slow. Alright, so he's in a good position right now behind the rival on his hards. And we're now going to put in our go to pit orders for the hards for our Verstappen. And so here comes our Leclerc. As it's a 7-lap race, give our Leclerc a little bit of support there. And he should pass everybody who's going to be going into pit. Look at P3, he's on hard tires, did not pit. Going around. Oh, and the rival decided he's going to pit. Oh, he didn't pit. He didn't pit. Right, so we'll let Verstappen go on his hards. Try to see if he can get back up in front of Sainz. Yes, he can. Then we're going to cut down. The weather is coming in. Rain is coming in. So do we want to go to wets now with or Leclerc is the question. We're going to do another lap before we pit or Leclerc. So we're going to do 3 laps. So we're not going to go to pit for wets right now with Leclerc. So we're just going to go around again. And then we'll decide if we want to go wet to wets at this pit stop juncture here. All right, so yeah, we're going to go to the wets. 2 laps remaining. We're going to do no servicing, so we get a nice fast pit stop. And we're going to change for wets with or Verstappen as well. And we're also going to do no servicing with Verstappen because he has a good amount of power unit, a good amount of servicing there. So he should be good for 2. And you see a nice little distance being created here by our Leclerc. We have 1 minute 44 seconds to rain off weather. And we're just going to slow or Verstappen down so he doesn't stock. And we switch now for those wet tires. We see the rival switching as well. No stocking for our drivers. And we boost on out. Let's put this in so we don't slow on turn 1. Let's put that in so we don't slow on turn 1. We still kind of got the slow there. Cut down, boost back up. Then we're going to cut that down right there. All right, so 26% of weather. We have 2 set of hard tires behind us. And we have our Max Verstappen full of power unit that he's just going to be boosting now from here. Great race, Mr. Rival. And good luck to you, man. Make sure you push your drivers and come catch up to these hard tires. And possibly get a 3-4 finish. Because 1-2 is ours. All right, so we've definitely taken a 1-2, no doubt about that. All right, so we're on our final lap going around here as the rival moves up to take up 3-4 as he's going to pass Lewis Hamilton on those hard tires. And we're just going to boost now both our drivers from here. We're not going to give him any false hope to think that he can catch up to Verstappen, so we're just going to boost Verstappen from here into finish for a nice 47 points for this race. All right, there we go. Great race in the end. Good luck, Max. Wait. All right, so there we go. So let's go now into our final race and see what we can do. And as I said in the GP strategy video, make sure to select a division that you know you can perform the most points in, because once you can perform the most points, that will be the biggest contribution you can give to your team. Instead of going for a GP event that you probably don't make it to the final, it's best to add something instead of adding nothing. All right, let's jump into the next race. Here we go for our final race of the video. We're back at Hungary, and this one should be dry, so we shouldn't see that kind of bipolar weather we saw on the first one. And wet races this season has not been the greatest at all. Wet races have not been the greatest at all this season, but we continue. So once it's kind of a mixed race with some bipolar, you can expect a lot of things to go wrong, probably. All right, wet races are crazy this season. All right, so let's go. All right. Ooh, poor start from Leclerc. We saw Leclerc getting a poor start on the first race, and we see him now getting another poor start here, but we're going to kind of give him some support. So we cut down and boost him back up to break momentum. And we have hard tires behind as he tries to sneak by AI Leclerc on softs. So what we're going to do is cut him down here because we want to do 4 laps, so we need him to cross the line with 75% of tires. And we have mediums, and softs in front. All right, so as AI Leclerc tries to sneak past these mediums in front, we're also going to try and sneak past, but we're just going to let our driver drive behind him for now and cruise for majority of it. And then we're going to bring in or Verstappen on lap 3 for some hards, which will be taking him to the finish. So right now we're just following Leclerc's lead. He'll be going to pit on lap 3, which is this lap with Verstappen. So we're going to put in the hard tires for Max Verstappen. And then we're going to just boost him from here to create some distance to the rest of the guys. And for that Leclerc who will be coming to pit, we don't want him to get the jump on our Verstappen. And then we're going to line up our Leclerc to boost by pit here from here to see if we can sneak by P3 when Leclerc moves out the way. All right, so we're unable to get up to P3 there, so we're going to cut that there. Cut that there, boost that up, put in the go to pit orders so he doesn't slow on turn 1. Cut that. And then we're going to just let him drive from there. Alright, so we're going to now put in our go to pit orders, coming back to some fresh medium tires, and then we're going to just let the power unit save a bit here as we look at P4, Perez on hards, who will be going to pit. And then we're going to boost. Now we're going to boost or Verstappen by pit. We want him to pass everybody who's in pit. Don't get the jump on him, Verstappen. Squeeze past Verstappen. We don't have the power unit to do so. Alright, Leclerc back out. Let's see what tires is Verstappen on. He's on fresh mediums. Yeah, we're not catching Max at all. So it doesn't look like we're going to be getting maximum points here. But we're going to be scoring as much as we possibly can. Perez will be going to pit, but Max is going to continue. So it looks like a 2-3 for us. I doubt we're going to be able to catch that Max Verstappen. Doubt we don't have enough power unit to do so, unless he suffers a breakdown, which I doubt. But let's see. You never know. Alright. So the rival Alonso has pitted now for mediums. Why would you go for mediums there? I would go for softs there. But it is what it is. Alright, so we see or Leclerc now closing the gap to or Verstappen. And who's that following Leclerc? It's Lewis Hamilton on mediums. So we kind of want to keep Leclerc in front and don't want Lewis Hamilton to come up behind Leclerc, because if he does, he's going to be on the softer compound tire, so he's going to basically pass or Verstappen. But as long as he's behind the same compound tires, he's probably going to stick behind or Leclerc, unless Leclerc do some bad driving and he gets by. But for the most part, he's going to stick behind. All right, so now it's the final lap. We're going to boost both drivers to try and create some distance on Lewis Hamilton, at the same time try to hold our position without losing it. As we go to finish, Lewis Hamilton is just right behind or Leclerc. Leclerc unable to create as much distance to pull away, as we now see back markers overtaking. Didn't Touch say they fixed that? I'm not sure. Doesn't look like that has fixed, because the back markers should not be able to overtake. And that's exactly what I didn't want Lewis Hamilton to pass my Leclerc and my Verstappen on the hard compound tires, and that's exactly what he did. All right, so there we go. 44 points, we'll take it. We could have gotten a 45, but it is what it is. Nothing we could do about that there. All right, so there we go, 45 points as we wait for the rival to complete his race. Let me know down in the comments how you guys are doing on your free-to-play account. Hopefully you guys selected the correct event and you guys can dominate and score as much as you can in that event for your team. And that's basically gonna be it for this one. Remember to use code word gaming with king in your content creator support and to support this channel. Appreciate you guys for all your support. And yeah, let's see our final results. We're gonna be on top. There we go, 183 for the final results. All right, so there we go. Right, let's see what we got from that pit pass. All right, there we go. So that's basically going to be it for this one. Now catch you guys in the next one. Use code word sale down below to let me know that you made it to this portion of the video. Really appreciate you guys who watch full videos for all your support. That's basically going to be it. Go check out some of our other videos over here or our playlist over here.
Shout out Christopher Graves, Alfredo Jr.,
Stelios,
and Touch My Dilly.
And they say if we'll only avoid any confrontation with